Hello everybody. Infinity Paradise Lost is an upcoming animated series based on the Infinity Universe by Corvus Belli. The main output of this is a skirmish wargame that revolves around small strike forces between two players with a focus on dense terrain in a cyberpunk setting. Now, I have known of and collected Infinity for quite some time, but I've never been like super into it like I have with certain other war games. But this animation looks great, and when I looked for someone giving me a breakdown of this trailer, no one had. And in sadness, I of course turned to where I always turn to when I'm sad, and that is Reddit. And folks on there who know much more about these things than I do helped point some things out in this trailer. And I thought, hey, alongside them and the Infinity Wiki called Human Sphere, I think, I'm here to break this trailer down for you. If there's one thing I love, it's being able to interact with things in different formats. The idea of having a model that is also in a book, a novel, and an RPG, and a computer game, and a TV series genuinely enhances my interest at every level of that hobby. Hype is real. So here is the Infinity Paradise Lost trailer. However, quickly, this is going to be a heavily interrupted watch through, okay? Filled with explanation of everything I can. Please go and watch this yourself first, uninterrupted, then come back here. Absolute first note, so it's directed by Jay Oliver. He's done very well-regarded things for Warner Brothers. Specifically, everyone keeps referencing The Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2, I think. I haven't seen those, but I hear nothing but praise for him and his work. I'm not familiar with such things, but I'm just saying, he's got a pedigree. This isn't completely out of nowhere, right? Apparently, this Jay Oliver chap claims to play and obviously like the game. He likes that it's skirmish-based and dense as it gives a focus on the characters as opposed to the grand scale of things, which obviously lends itself much more to a narrative focus than to a setting type focus. And also he says that in general he's totally in love with cyberpunk vibes, anime styling, and obviously relates it to Ghost in the Shell, which if you ever mention cyberpunk and anime, you kind of have to like Ghost in the Shell, therefore. Again, I'm going to interrupt this a lot and like immediately, so let's watch.
They say...
And we're stopping already. So what we just saw was a jump gate with a circular exiting. To clarify, circular, not the shape. A circular is basically a giant shipyard that carries smaller ships through jump gates. Jump gates, of course, being how you get around the Infinity Universe, because the human sphere is significantly spread out. You have to be able to jump to places. Super standard sci-fi stuff. Let's get into it. Do we have to discuss how in any game or any universe, any fiction where you can travel faster than light in any way, that inherently means time travel exists? No, let's ignore that. It's a thing though. Let's just, okay. This isn't breaking down sci-fi tropes, this is just the trailer, right?
That whoever controls Silk controls the galaxy.
Okay, hold up, this is going to take some explanation because this is a key thing. Again, very standard classic sci-fi trope, but we have to explain it. So, that was a cube / Silk. Okay, so Infinity, every human has something in the back of their head called a cube, okay? This stores your memory. This is a super common theme in cyberpunk, a device that stores your memory so you can be resurrected in a cloned body or take over another person's body or put into an android. This is, of course, super common as it allows you to discuss what does it mean to be a human. Transhumanism is always a massive theme in sci-fi. If you're unfamiliar, go and watch, for example, Altered Carbon on Netflix, based on the books of the same name. The first series and the first book follow each other very closely. I would recommend both. They're very good and they explore what it means to be human. Cool. Classic sci-fi stuff. Anyway, in Infinity, you need a substance called Silk to both make the cubes and make them work in a new body, whether organic or robotic. The faction of Hak-Islam controls all Silk in the galaxy. Haq-Islam are as close to legitimate good guys as you get in this world and in our modern age of everything having to be morally grey. Remember that. Haq-Islam is also the faction that our protagonist and all of our heroes, it seems, are from. Factions, of course, being terms for the models that you use in the game. One faction can't play with another faction. Haq-Islam is a big one. We're going to see a few other factions in here as well. But if you're looking into, on the back of this trailer for the first time, your kind of, your standout factions are going to be Haq-Islam, Yu Jing. They're kind of the Japanese guys that have lots of cool looking robotic mecha heavy armor. I really like them. And it's also going to be Pan-Oceania, Pano. They're a little bit more, they kind of have the knightly orders, so they blend a bit of that sci-fi with having swords. There you go. I would recommend checking out those three factions. Let's keep going.
But those who would pervert this gift are threats to humanity's evolution. Such threats must be...
Okay, hold up. This is Kassad. This is a assassin Farzan. Farzan being Persian for wise man, and meaning the instructors, the trainers, the teachers, basically kind of the leaders of the military assassin. Sorry, the military Haq-Islam. Assassins are the military Haq-Islam, and the Farzan are the leaders of the assassins. Now, I did say, remember that Haq-Islam are the good guys. Well, morally grey, as all things must be these days. Even the good guys have to fight and defend themselves, especially when they hold the most valuable resource in the universe. Unobtainium, sorry, I mean spice melange, sorry, I mean silk. There you go. And yes, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Morally grey, woo, let's go.
eliminated.
Who the hell are you?
I have a proposal. What if you were meant for more than a life addicted to silk?
Maybe I like where I am.
Maybe you should think about giving your life to a cause that really matters.
Okay, so that is a space elevator. Potentially, if what people on Reddit say is correct, that would be on Borak, which would mean that would be the Gelismek station at the top. There you go. I don't know what those words mean. That's a planet and a space station name, which presumably, if you know Infinity, is going to be a place that you can visit in the RPGs, or specific events in the lore have taken place on those. So they are known things. A space elevator does exactly what you think it does. It takes you from the ground to an orbiting space station so that you can get into a ship and then get onto a circular to go somewhere else. Nice. Okay, we have our protagonists. The whole team, from what we know so far, left to right, let's do it. Because this is the fun bit where we can look at the dudes and the dudettes and the dudai and say, that's a model I can buy. Which is basically why I'm here, but I understand not everybody is into the game itself. So, right, on the left, a Nasmat that looks like it could be Rahman Rouhani's Gaspar. I realise that sounded like word salad, but I promise those were names. Those were proper nouns, thank you. There we have our unnamed protagonist. We don't really, she kind of isn't anything. She's the blank slate that we're going to view the world through. She's not anything yet. Presumably, she is going to become a thing, though. The tall lady is probably our Boktar. A Boktar we will talk about later, don't worry. Then we have a Barid. A Barid is a messenger who basically act kind of as the class, or the tier, whatever you want to call it, who give the warning to people crossing the assassins before sending in the real killers. So super standard drug racket stuff, right? Drug cartel. Hey, you've stolen our patch, we send in the barrier. They say, by the way, this is our turf, bro. Back off. I only killed like 3 of your guys as a warning. A shot across the bow, right? Cool. Then we have a Nadhir. Nadhir. These are the invisible ambushers of the assassins. If you mess up, these are the guys that come for you in the night, right? Finally, on the right, we have Kassad, a named character. No. Then there's a Lassic. Again, all of these names are not from a vocabulary I speak, so I'm not pronouncing them correctly. Is it Lassic? Lazic? I don't know. Let's go with a Lassic. These are the super long-range snipers of the Assassin. Exactly what you think. Big up sniper, gonna kill you without you seeing them. Sorry, going to unalive you without you seeing them. Sorry about that YouTube algorithm. Finally, on the right, we have Kassad, a named character for this show, which has already had a miniature released for him, and we know that he's a Assassin Farzan, as we already discussed. They are the teachers. This is a rock dropship. Now, Corvus Belli don't make a miniature for this, but it's pronounced, it's spelled R-U-K-H, means a legendary bird, and there are SCLs available on Etsy if you want to have that yourself.
If you devote yourself to a path, you'll become greater than your pain.
Now, this is the Boktar in full power armor. The Boktar I said I was going to talk about earlier from when we did the Meet the Team scene. So, the Boktar are female agents who have died and come back to life thanks to Silk, as we've already discussed, and basically become Awesome Sauce, Mad Lad, Chance. So, in a universe where everyone can come back to life, does that mean everyone does? Obviously not, as Silk is a limited resource. So, if you have been resurrected, there is a reason for it. Incredibly rich, that's always number one, right? Because it's sci-fi, we can actually discuss capitalism in a serious manner, unlike fantasy where you have to do it in a comedy manner. Shout out to Orconomics, not the point though. So, if you've been resurrected, there's a reason for it. You are incredibly rich, or you have a skill that is beyond compare. It's not that every female agent gets brought back to life. No, it's more that the ones they bring back are already insanely skilled and have proven their worth to make this a thing that they do. So you get a bit of the old self-fulfilling prophecy. Cool. These guys look like the authorized bounty hunters, an older model that you can buy. I will say for me personally, some of the older models from Corvus Belli are a little bit smaller and not quite, in my opinion, they don't hold up. I think their new models are really good. Anything that they've released in the last kind of 2-3 years in N4, beautiful models. Some of the older stuff, not so much my vibe, but has held up remarkably well, all things considered. This is obviously a bad dude, and we don't know much about them. However, it could be a Tohar, or it could just be a human in fancy armor. Now, Tohar are aliens, and as such, I suspect this won't be a Tohar, because typically when dealing with discussions on transhumanism in a cyberpunk setting, you keep everyone human to drive the point home, with the introduction of aliens tending to muddy the theme due to a human's innate racism and seeking of otherness to blame things on, losing the message with impersonal bias. Now you know why I'm having to read that line from a script, because I was going to mess that up a lot. Yeah, let's go. Now this is an Umbra Legate. Alien killers of unknown homeworld origin, basically. So, basically, just ignore everything I said about aliens ruining the transhuman themes. I'm sure this is a good idea.
But only you can take the first step.
Okay, wow, and that is the trailer finished. I've got to be honest, that looked really good to me. So, I generally like, look, it's not Arcane, okay? It's not going to be at that quality of either animation or writing, but you know what? That looked, honestly, totally acceptable for me. I thought it looked really good. It looks better than a lot of what I've seen from other companies that are trying to make their IP, their setting, more open to the wide world. So I think this is really good. A quick addendum. I should have put this right at the start when I was talking about the director, Jay Oliver. We don't know how this is being distributed yet, which is interesting. So we don't know if it's going to Netflix, if one of the bigger companies is going to buy it, etc. But clearly work has begun. They have backing somehow. We don't know how to get our hands on this yet, which is interesting. But there you go. So I thought that was really cool. I'm excited for this. This is something that I would be excited to watch, knowing the full themes and breadth that it could plumb and delve with us, whether it was Infinity or not. So this is really cool for me that I can also buy a model that is represented by something in there. Hopefully, as you watch this, when I flashed up some of the models that those were models you could buy. There you go. So go check those out if you're interested in them. Things we didn't see. Tags. You've got to have a tag in this. You've got to have a tag battle somehow in this, obviously, because that's super cool. I mean, that's super classic Cyberpunk. You've got to have it. Super Ghost in the Shell. Give me that tag action. And that's about it, really. Yeah, you've seen it. I have nothing else to say. I hope you liked it. If you do enjoy wargaming, and you're not just an Infinity chap, check out the rest of my channel. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.